and welcome. This is Matthias 76, and together we are decoding the deception. Together we are decoding the headlines. So this popped up in my YouTube feed, and it was just a bunch of things coming together because I've been talking a good bit about the Hegelian state. Everyone who is awake needs to get their mind around this, the Hegelian state, because those who rule our world rule it, they govern it based on Hegel's principles, his dictates. And he said that basically the state is everything, that our job, individuals don't matter, they are to be prepared, educated. Dewey, the great educator, was Hegelian. It's all about all of us being programmed to just mindlessly follow along with whatever the state says. We only have reality. We only have meaning and purpose and significance if we submit to the state, if the state is in charge. And make no mistake about it, this whole COVID-19 thing, this plandemic, was definitely a major step in the state taking control, just as 9/11 was. We ceded all kinds of authority to the state. It's okay if they spy on us. It's okay if they listen to our phones. It's okay if they do who knows what all else, if they imprison people unjustly without cause and torture them. That's all fine because it is for the greater good, which is to say, it is for the state. The lockdown was to get you to submit, to train you, to condition you, to get you to a point where without thinking, the state says it and we do it. They say wear a mask, we wear a mask. They say shut down your businesses, we shut down our businesses. They say stay at home for as long as we tell you to stay at home, and we stay at home. Well, it's not done. It's not over. And I'm not talking about the future of COVID and what they might be spinning up there with these new Delta variants, blah, blah, blah. Not talking about that. I am talking about what is here on the screen now. The future of lockdowns, it's going to be about climate. You see, if they declare it to be an emergency, then all the standard procedures and rules are set to the side. If they declare it to be an emergency, a climate emergency, then they can order us to not eat red meat, to not drive our vehicles. And because they have so much of society conditioned like a dog, literally, like a dog that's been beat too much. It'll just do whatever it's told to do. Oh, you tell me to get rid of my car? I'll get rid of my car. You tell me not to use my car for a certain period of time? I'll do that. Yeah, it's probably necessary that they stop drilling for oil for a time because we've got to give Mother Earth a break from all of this climate chaos. And because this is the way the Hegelian stuff works, the Hegelian dialectic, thesis, antithesis, they came up with the climate change to begin with. They alter the climate, they alter the weather, they control it. And I'm not a nut. This is the truth. They spray stuff in the skies. They use radio frequencies. They use Doppler radar. They steer hurricanes. They heat parts of the earth up. They come up with a whole forest fire disaster out in California, and it was all contrived. They steer the rain away from California, and then they burn it up because they want everyone moved away from the coast, and they want that real estate. And then they send in torrential rains to wash it all away. And if you don't believe this stuff about weather and weather control, then just for a week, 1 week, commit yourself to this. Watch Above Ground World News, Mike Morales and his stuff every night. He's on every night talking about how they control the weather and showing how they control the weather. Go to Jim Lee's website. The name is escaping me right now, and we'll put the link on the screen, and I'll put the link down below, and you can look at the history of climate change, the patents that they use to control for the technology that they use to control the climate. So, point being, they created all of the climate change, all of the climate crisis. They can turn it on and they can turn it off, just like I turn my lava lamp on and off. Flip of a switch. And now they use that to get us to submit, to tell us that we have to stay in. And that's unconstitutional. We foolishly submitted to them once before. Now, I can't say I did because I kept going out. But as a nation, we foolishly submitted to them before. It is unconstitutional, and we can't stand for it. If we have to remove them from office, then we remove them from office, whatever it takes. But we need to stand firm and not knuckle under and march about like a bunch of woolly sheep with a mask over our faces. So I encourage you, I'll put the link in the video description below to watch this brief video by Tucker Carlson. It's important information. I encourage you. I'll put the link for Mike Morales' YouTube page, Above Ground World News, AGWN, and Jim Lee's website as well. I have learned so much from these guys. And you cannot deny it. They control the weather. They do with it as they will. And it is part of their Antichrist agenda that they take God's place. Who controls the weather? Well, God controls the weather. Well, not any longer. We do it. We do it with chemtrailing, and we do it with various other atmospheric heaters and radio frequencies and Doppler radar. We play God. And that is exactly what they are doing. And then they pretend that it all happens by accident. That's another common ploy, a trick they use in this Hegelian dialectic thesis, antithesis, synthesis. It all happened by accident, so now we have to deal with it. They create it and then say, oh, it was an accident. They faked the Gulf of Tonkin and many other things and said, oh, we've got to go to war in Vietnam. And I could list many other examples. But I encourage you, if you don't understand the Hegelian dialectic and how it works, do research, dig in. It applies to every single news story you see. The Hegelian state, and in my mind, that's in all caps, the state. The state is everything. The state is everything, and we are to be subservient to it. Sound familiar? Does it sound like the last 18 months? It most certainly does. And once you learn about it, once you understand it, then you can look at these news stories and understand them in a different light. There is a bigger agenda. This is multidimensional chess orchestrated by the lords of hell, worked out by their minions serving here below, those who we call the elite, the deep state, the swamp, the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, Skull and Bone, the Trilateralist Commission, Chatham House, on and on and on, the Club of Rome, the Vatican, all of that, all playing together. I think it's important to say this. I don't just get on here to prattle on because I like to hear myself talk. We need to learn to think about things differently. The whole left-right paradigm is a construct of their making, and it was created to control you. It was created to control me. And if you don't think differently, you'll be stuck in that paradigm under their control. So learn to think about things differently. Go deeper. Dig into things. If you only read the books, that everyone else reads, then you can only think like everyone else thinks. I love that quote. Go out and read books such as James Perloff's The Shadows of Power. Go out and read books like Anthony Sutton's America's Secret Establishment, an Introduction to the Order of Skull and Bones. It's available on Amazon. That's where I got this copy. It will blow your mind. And be ready to do some thinking. Go and get G. Edward Griffin's The Creature from Jekyll Island. It is about the history and origin of the Federal Reserve and fiat currency, but it is about so much more. Do research. Read the stuff that other people aren't reading and think differently. If you have enjoyed this video, I encourage you, please give us a thumbs up. It really matters. It feeds the algorithm, and a happy algorithm puts this video out there for other people to see. Please consider subscribing, and if you subscribe, hit the notification bell, because the notification bell makes sure you're made aware when we put out new content. And I also encourage you, share this video with someone else. They need to hear it. And it also, guess what? It feeds the algorithm. Thank you for watching. This is Matthias76. Together, we're working on decoding the deception. Together, we have decoded the headlines. God bless and have a great day. That concludes our broadcast for today. We publish our videos on YouTube, BitChute, and Brighteon. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a like or a thumbs up. We invite you to subscribe so you can continue to receive our content. Also, please consider sharing this video with others. We love to hear from you, so please leave a comment below. This is Matthias76, and together we will continue to decode the deception.